Hello friends. I know I haven't done a video in a long time, and honestly it's just been pure laziness. I've been having a lot of fun, enjoying life, enjoying summer, or not quite summer yet, but enjoying the good weather. And I'm definitely planning on doing videos more consistently. I have no excuses, it's just been pure laziness, which is not good. But today I'm going to be talking about an important topic, and this is for my guys who watch this. This is about proper method of seduction at a bar or other social settings for an average looking guy. And I feel this is very important. This is for the single men that do not currently have a partner. I'm in a relationship right now, and I'm not using this to cheat on my woman or whatever. But I don't recommend any of this if you're married or whatever in a relationship. But when I was single, I definitely honed and perfected these skills with a lot of trial and error, reading a lot of books, learning a lot, watching videos, and seeing what really worked. I'm a very average looking guy, but I'm able to use these skills to meet women, get better at socially, and have a lot of confidence. And this is not a bunch of canned bullshit pickup lines and all that fake stuff. This is just you being yourself, being real, raw, and bold. And I was hesitant to make this video because I know a lot of women watch my channel, and it's not for everyone, and it's controversial, but I do feel compelled to make it because of the epidemic of loneliness and addiction among men. I believe in harm reduction, and it is much healthier to seek out actual interactions with real women and learn social and seduction skills rather than numbing with adult content, drugs, alcohol, food, video games, internet, all those things. I do believe that men who have experience with women and intimacy make better partners in long-term relationships and marriages. I don't think sleeping around with as many women as possible is morally or physically healthy. And that's not what I'm making this for, even though you could use these skills to do that. But consuming adult content is far worse and completely rots your soul. Learning to have the social skills to be bold, honest, and direct with women, and authentic in a public setting is an invaluable skill that will make you a better husband and boyfriend, but will also serve you well in everyday life, and especially during your travels. Just like everything, start with gratitude for what you already have. And you must have gratitude for what you're about to receive. So gratitude for things you can't see already. That's faith. You must believe that you are going to get what you want and feel the joy of your wish already fulfilled. You have to feel the emotions like you ordered a package from Amazon and it's on the way. You know you're going to get it. So that's the same attitude you have to find with the gratitude for what you haven't received yet. So you need to act like that package is coming. Feel the joy of your wish already fulfilled. Do this with a gratitude journal, affirmations, or videos. Start today if you haven't already. That's the most important step. There's many important steps, but nothing works without that. I recommend Brian Scott on YouTube. He has great meditations, affirmations, everything else, and he's really mastered it. He's simply the best, and I highly recommend his channel. I've been using it for months. Next, be yourself, but your best self. You must believe that you're about to meet a great woman and take the actions that you would if you're spending time with the type of woman you want to spend time with, and that she's coming into your home, into your car, and she's going to be in close proximity to you. So that means keeping your house, car, everything immaculate. Show your best self that you care about yourself, care about your environment. Make sure your house, everything is spotless. Not taking the steps to make yourself and your environment at their peak is lazy and will guarantee failure. While doing the opposite and preparing to receive raises your vibration and makes you much more confident when you're out there seducing women. Make sure your hair and beard are neat. If you can't do it yourself, find a good barber that will, or watch how they do it. Then you can get a beard trimmer and do it yourself eventually. It takes some practice, but you need to have a neat, clean hair and beard. Also, women are much more sticklers about detail than we are. When I went to get a professional photo taken, I didn't realize I had hair coming from my earlobes. So you gotta get a nose hair trimmer and make sure your nose, all the hair that's holding onto boogers in your nose and all that stuff, make sure your nose hair is trimmed as much as possible. Take as much hair out of your nose as possible, and trust me, you have it. So if you don't have a nose hair trimmer, get one. Make sure there's no hair on your ears or in unsightly places. Beard needs to be on point. Hair needs to be on point. Absolutely important. Wear cologne, but just one spray on the chest, on your shirt. Just one spray. Do not bathe in it. It's repulsive. And the point is you smell great, so they want to get closer and closer to you. So you don't want to be bathing in it and make the whole damn room smell like it. But you just put one little spray on your chest there so they want to get closer. I recommend Dracar Noir. It's a very classic French scent. Or Burberry. Burberry for men. Dracar Noir is a cheaper choice, and Burberry if you have a little more. You can find them both at a cheaper price at Marshall's. So check out Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and get you a bottle of Dracar Noir, which is my favorite, or Burberry, which my girlfriend likes, and she bought me a bottle of that. And I'll wear that when I'm out with her, but I like Dracar Noir. So one spray of that on the chest. Wear the clothes you think you look best in. It doesn't have to be fancy clothes. It doesn't have to be expensive clothes. That also you can get from Marshall's or whatever. It doesn't matter where you get it from or how expensive it is. Make sure they're clean. Make sure your clothes are clean and not wrinkled. Wear the shoes you feel comfortable in. But make sure they're nice looking shoes. They don't have to be dress shoes, but just nice looking shoes. If you like Adidas Samba, or if you like whatever you like and projects your vibration and what you're about, wear that. But the shoes you wear out when you're being social should not be your gym shoes or shoes that are beat up, or hiking boots or work boots or whatever. Make sure they're just clean and look nice and not tattered. Doesn't matter what shoes, but they got to be clean like everything else. Women pay much more attention to detail than we do, so you might not even notice these things, but it really does matter when you leave the walls of your home that you look neat clean, and put together. Keep these standards up consistently. Even if you are in a relationship, you got to keep on putting the same effort into your appearance as you did when you first met her, or you can expect to lose her, or that she'll stop wanting to have sex with you and stop being attracted to you. So to keep these standards up, regardless of whether you're in a relationship or not. And for God's sakes, you have to work out in the gym and be as fit as you possibly can. I'm not talking about being a bodybuilder with a six-pack and taking steroids. But a lot of people, especially in North America, are overweight. So if you can just be generally fit, you're doing better than 99% of people out there, and you stand out. So for God's sakes, keep fit. Keep your posture right. Sit up straight and keep your back and shoulders open, opening your heart to the world to receive. When you get to the bar, be social right away and do not use pickup lines. I will give you the one line that you can use that is not a cheesy, cringy pickup line, but it's authentic and charming. Firstly, always be calm and just act like going out alone is something that you do often. Keep calm and relaxed as you find a seat at the bar and order your drink, making eye contact and conversation first with the bartender and then with the people around you, whether they're men, women, whatever. Ask people their opinions on different things, food and drink recommendations, whatever, how they like the neighborhood, all these different things. And keep your talk positive. Do not whine, bitch, and complain about things or be negative or use people as a sounding board for your troubles, because that signals a lack of confidence and insecurity. And for God's sake, don't talk about your ex or how unlucky you are in love. Just avoid that altogether. Learn and master the art of keeping eye contact with women until they look away first. Look right into their eyes. It displays confidence and your future dominance in the bedroom, which is very attractive. And 95% of guys don't have the balls to do that. And it is hard to do when you first start doing it, but it's just like a skill you have to build up. So look at them in the eyes until they look away, especially if you catch them looking at you. If a woman likes you, she'll find an excuse to look at you and move closer to you. When she looks at you and it inevitably comes in your orbit, it's time to use the 5-second rule. Take a deep breath into your belly or two to release the nervous energy and have the guts to start the interaction. This skill becomes easier and eventually effortless and fun the more times you practice it. The opening line that I learned from George Bruno, a current men's coach and former marriage and family therapist with decades of experience, and he's a very brilliant guy. I don't agree with everything he says, but when it comes to this, he knows what he's talking about. This is his line, I'm going to give him credit, is look deep into her eyes and say, you are very hard to ignore. Hi, my name is, so just say, you're very hard to ignore. Hi, and then introduce yourself and put your hand out there. And then after that, you shake her hand and say, nice to meet you. This simple communication and course of action will do so many things for you when you are in the process of seducing a woman. Firstly, it will make her feel unique, special, and desired. It's not aggressive or desperate. You are boldly showing your interest in her without apology, as well as testing her for attraction and compliance by offering her your name and your hand to shake. While a handshake is not sexual, you are touching her right away, which builds sexual tension. The chances are on your side that if she's not socially stupid and if she has manners, she will shake your hand and give you her name because you aren't putting too much pressure on her or being awkward. And you can naturally grow the conversation from there after using that starting line. If she ignores or rebukes you for using this approach, then she isn't interested, and you shouldn't take it personally and move on to the next. Outright rejection will rarely happen with this approach because it is classy, witty, and non-threatening. And even if she isn't interested or already taken, she will be willing to entertain a conversation with you unless her social skills are extremely lacking. Next point. Go by yourself. If you want to seduce a woman, you have to go by yourself to the bar or the party. Don't go with all your little friends. I know this is really daunting for many shy men who are watching this, but this is something I've learned from personal experience. Most content creators will tell you that you need to go out in a group to prove to others that you have friends and so show so-called social proof. But it can be a plan B, a distraction, a crutch, and a general hindrance to meeting and going home with a woman. If you remove the security blanket of going with friends, there are numerous benefits, including showing to yourself and others that you are confident enough to go out by yourself, which a lot of people aren't. That makes you stand out. It will also make you have to interact with strangers and get used to that. Not being distracted by your friends and being able to give your full attention to charming the women that are around you is great. And you'll be able to give your full attention to doing that instead of bullshitting and talking a bunch of nonsense with your friends. Also, if your friends are more attractive and charming than you, the women's attention will definitely go to them, especially after a few drinks. If your friends are unattractive and socially awkward, you will definitely appear as one of those, even if you aren't, because you're in their social group. It's not fair, but that's just the way it is. So if your friend's hotter than you, they're going to steal the women's attention. And if they're not, if they're socially awkward and unattractive, it'll make you look bad. So it's better to just have the balls to go by yourself and learn how to do that. And when you go on vacation and different things, it'll do you a lot of good. Trust me. Also, going out alone gives you an air of mystery to those around you, which is extremely attractive, regardless of what you might think. Set a limit on how much you drink. I would say no more than 3 or 4 drinks. You're not going there to catch a buzz. You're not going there to get drunk. You're going there to seduce and get used to doing that and improve your social skills and meet people. And being wasted does not help. You are not more charming when you're drunk. And you can develop an alcohol problem if you have to rely on liquid courage rather than your own confidence. Sit at the bar, since there will be women constantly coming up to the bar to order their drinks and food. Find a bar where you must order at the bar, as opposed to where the only option to order food and drinks is to sit at booths and tables and they're served by a waiter or waitress, because it's kind of hard to meet people if you're sitting in your own little booth, right? Build positive emotional tension. Positive emotional tension is a term from Dr. Robert Glover, who is a psychologist and men's coach, and he's just great. And I want to give him credit when I'm telling you his information here. So, how you build, the main way to build positive emotional tension with a new woman is touch, tease, and ask. touching is easy. First, while you're talking to her, while you're making a conversation, just touch her hand. Then you could touch her arm, and then eventually put your hand on her thigh. Her reaction to your touching will show you her attraction level. And if she goes along with it and continues to talk to you without being visibly upset, or without like looking too uncomfortable, you know, she might be a little shocked at your boldness, but that doesn't mean she's not liking it, is what I mean. So if she doesn't have a negative reaction to you touching her, that showed that she is attracted to you and she likes your confidence. So you can escalate from there. So first the hand, then the arm, and then the thigh as you keep talking to her. Don't continuously be a creep and have your hands all over her, because that shows desperation. But every so often, take your touch away and go back. And what I've noticed when you do this is she'll want your touch more, and she might even start touching you once you remove your touch or put your hand back on her thigh or whatever. So remove your touch every so often. You don't need to be touching her the whole time like a desperate, horny person. You just, you know, show her that you have the confidence to do that, and you're willing to take risks, and you're willing to be bold. And it works like a charm. Next thing, tease her. Tease her about her music or food tastes, or something else she tells you about during your conversation. And just be generally light, playful. Don't be a clown and the class clown and be an idiot. But, you know, be lighthearted. Don't talk about heavy shit. Don't talk about work, school, politics, other stuff like that. Talk about fun stuff. Talk about food, music, travel, hobbies, passions, what she does for fun, and that will give you some knowledge about her and what she does for fun and what her passions are, and you can work with that. And be honest if she asks you a question, but don't talk about your ex, but don't talk about yourself too much in general. Keep on asking her questions about her, but don't make it like a job interview. And let's be honest, we don't really give a shit where she went to college or whatever, and all that, or her work and all that stuff. Like, she's out at the bar to have a good time. She's not there to talk about work, so that's an instant turnoff. Talk about fun stuff, but tease her and be playful while you're doing it. And then the third thing, which this is kryptonite for a lot of guys, but you have to get used to this. And it was hard for me to do this too, because I generally haven't been a good receiver in the past, but I've been a great giver. But you have to ask her for stuff and to do stuff. That can start with, you know, you got to ask her for stuff. And this usually happens once you're at home with her, or at her place or whatever, and you've gotten beyond the bar. But ask her for things. So the first thing I do when a woman invites me to her house is I ask her to get me a glass of water. It's a great thing. Usually guys are falling all over themselves to buy her drinks, buy her food, do stuff for her. But when she sees a guy asking her for things, that actually makes her feel safe and makes her feel like you can be yourself and ask for what you want, and it shows confidence. So you have to ask for things. But at the bar, you can ask her, you know, to, I don't know, watch your seat or watch your drink when you go to the bathroom. Simple things like that. You'll have to use your brain a little bit. So touch, tease, and ask. From Dr. Robert Glover, Positive Emotional Tension. Don't talk about yourself too much. Be honest, but be mysterious. And ask her about her food, music, travel, hobbies, passions. Fun stuff. Alright, this part's very important. It's physically escalate and close the deal. Just like the initial interaction and touching, this does not come naturally for many of you, but when you can tell she's clearly interested, you need to escalate by going in for a kiss. Look at her eyes, then her lips, then her eyes again, then her lips, and repeat this a few times. And then you have to go in for the kiss. Don't ask her permission. That's going to dry her up like the Sahara Desert. You have to just go for it and be okay if she gives you the cheek or turns away. And that doesn't necessarily mean that she doesn't like you or she won't even go home with you that night. It just means she wasn't ready right then at that moment. So you just back off and you try again later. But you have to be the one who does that and show your confidence and show your male leadership by moving things along when it comes to the sexual part. So you have to go in for the kiss, and especially if she's letting you touch her, she's letting you put your hand on her arm, on her thigh, whatever, and not showing a negative reaction to that, she will let you kiss her most of the time. So you have to do that. You cannot chicken out when it comes to that. And get used to doing that, and she might give you the cheek. And even for an average looking guy like me, that whole thing worked more times than it hasn't worked. So if all the steps are falling in line, she's letting you touch her, she's continuing to talk to you, she'll let you kiss her as well. So after you've done that, maybe a few times you kissed her, you're having a good night, the line I use is, are you ready to get out of here and have some one-on-one time? That's what I say. But say something like that, close the interaction, and whether she says no or yes to hooking up with you to sex that night, she will respect the hell out of you for being upfront with your intentions and not chickening out, because most guys are too chicken shit to do all this stuff. So the skill of physically escalating and closing, a lot of guys do not have that, especially with this online dating stuff where people aren't meeting people in real life and they're meeting online. They just don't have the skills to do that. So she will be impressed and she will respect you even if she does say no. But you have to expect the yes. When you expect and visualize the yes happening, it happens more than not. Don't ever ask her for her number, but give her your number and tell her to keep in touch. I never ask for their number. I never push exchanging numbers. I wait until she gives me her number. That will differentiate you from 99% of these guys out there. If you do not give her your number or contact information or act like you ever want to see her again, because it is a fact that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unsure and who are not acting desperate. So you won't be the chaser, you will be the chased. And women prefer to chase. Women prefer to chase men. And with all these desperate, simpy men out there who are chasing women and begging them for their number, when you don't bring the number up at all, she'll give you her number. And when she gives you her number, call her. Don't text her, but call her at a time where you know she's going to be available, like in the evening sometime, and set a date. Set the next date. And if she doesn't pick up, just text, say, hey, it's whatever your name is, and then I'd love to spend time with you, some quality time with you. Let me know your availability. Done. And so let her give you her number, and if things are going well, she will. So don't offer your number. It'll differentiate you from 100% of the men out there. Logistics. Pick a bar close to your home. I like to go to dive bars that are a local hangout when I'm single, as opposed to fancy, stuffy lounges or clubs. At the end of the night, it should be easy to take her back to your place. So a short walk or Uber ride or whatever. If she's a local, oftentimes she'll invite you to her place, because women don't like to go to strange men's homes. At least they've somewhat control in their own home. So more times than not, I've been invited to their house, and then do the whole routine of asking. Ask her as soon as you get to her house and sit down, ask her for a glass of water. Make sure your home is immaculate in case you end up going to your home. I always have snacks, light snacks, because if you are getting sexual, you don't want to be farting all over each other and all that other stuff. So just have some light snacks like fruit, cheese, crackers, charcuterie, that kind of things. But you don't want to be like eating your second cheeseburger of the night, and that's not very conducive to good sex. So I would like not keep too much alcohol and food in your stomach if you're planning on having sex. Take it easy on the alcohol. Take it easy on the food. If you really want to have good sex, don't be stuffing yourself too much. Along with having your home immaculate, keep female nightwear, female toiletries, and all that things available, as well as an extra toothbrush. Not only is this courteous, but it gives the impression that you're a man that has a lot of women and you're attentive to their needs and successful in the game of seduction and love. All this will separate you from 99.5% of the guys out there, and it'll make you look more attractive. So if you have those little extra details, she'll be like, this guy is good with women, and I'm lucky that he even wants to bring me into his world, and I'm so lucky. And she would just think you're a boss for doing that. Not because of the fancy car you drive down, but those attention to details make all the difference, and she will be chasing you after that, even if you're an average looking guy like me. Last thing, don't be attached to the outcome or whoever you meet with these skills. So I'm not saying that you can't meet a quality woman at the bar. It hasn't happened for me. I met a lot of really fun women and interesting women, and women I enjoy spending time with, who are lots of great fun and great experience. But with the way things are, you don't want to be attached to the outcome. So always keep things light and casual, and don't expect to meet Snow White or Miss Perfect at the bar. A lot of the people that hang out in bars have an alcohol problem and stuff, and I don't want to make generalizations, or drug problem, and they'll suck you into it. So don't be attached to the outcome. Don't get too pissed off if you do not able to close the deal, because if you tried, and if you did what I told you, and if you took these steps, chances are you will be successful. But if you just did approaches, and you did have conversations with women, and you did get more confident, it'll work for you next time or the time after that, and you should feel great that you're breaking out of your comfort zone, and you are, you're breaking out of your comfort zone, and you're doing things that are scary, and eventually it stops being scary and it becomes fun. You'll look forward to it. Probably the first time you do it, you will be nervous and you will be attached to the outcome. But even if you do it and you do not close the deal, your confidence is going to go way up, and this will become like second nature to you, and you will get confident around women, and it's just a really great skill to have. And when you go on vacation, you can use it. When you're traveling, you can use it. And I'm not trying to make this about morality here. It's way, and in my opinion, I know a lot of religious people will not like the whole thing of talking about casual sex and hooking up and all that. And I think the culture is toxic when it comes to that, but at the same time, getting real experience in sex and seduction and social skills is much better for you than consuming adult content to meet your needs, because that will do nothing except sap your confidence, give you an unrealistic and disrespectful view of women, and set your expectations all screwed up and destroy your mind and your soul. And if you do feel sexual urges, you should go meet a real woman and use these steps and go to a bar or whatever and do this. And instead of consuming adult content, because you'll actually learn how to live the life instead of watching other people doing fake sex on a screen. So this is something that every man needs to learn. And if you are going to be a good partner to your wife or girlfriend, it's better that you know what you're doing and you're confident. And it's key to not pedestalize women. Is the key to not pedestalize whatever woman you end up with is having a lot of experience and knowing that if she leaves or if things don't work out, you can go and meet other women and meet your own needs as well. And you have the confidence that you are desired. And consuming adult content does the opposite. So if you're doing that, you need to put that down and do the steps I told you. And I was reluctant to put this out, but I do think it's important. And this really does work. Even if you're an average looking guy, if you take care of your beard, you know, take care of your hair, keep your house and car and everything neat and clean, and work out a little bit, it will work for you. It might not work the first night, but the second or third, it will. So put these skills into practice, and I'd love to see how it worked out for you in the comments below. And thank you for watching. I know it's a long video. Like, subscribe, and I am available for coaching and consulting. The coaching is where we find the answers from within you. I believe everyone has the answers within them, and I just ask you the right questions to challenge your limiting beliefs, as well as keeping you accountable to moving towards the life you want to lead. And I am an ICF trained coach. I know how to smash your limiting beliefs and find the answers from within you. But for things like this, telling you what to do on dates, helping you with your profile, helping you with your resume, helping you with different things, I also do consulting, and I can just tell you what to do if you don't have the patience to go through finding it within yourself, which I think is better. But stuff like this, I can tell you the steps, step by step, to having a good dating profile, to having a good resume, to acing a job interview, and seduction. So, and a bunch of other things. So I have a free 30-minute session to get started. So email me if you want coaching or consulting. And I love and care for you all. And I appreciate you watching my videos, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And I do care about you, and I do love you all. And I want to give you my best every time. And I will have more videos out soon. God bless you, and take care.